Have you ever met somebody who is always given the benefit of the doubt? Who is always given a pass, regardless of how terrible some of their actions are? Yeah, yeah, I have. And it leaves you wondering, why? Why? Why do they get a pass? Why do they get a pass for things that I could never even think of doing? Because if I were to try even a fourth of what they've tried, people would treat it as if all HE double hockey sticks was let loose. Why do they get away with what they get away with? Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. They get away with what they get away with because they've come to embody and understand to the T the purpose of a mistake. They've come to embody and understand to the T the purpose of a mistake. People like that, they don't view mistakes the way we have viewed mistakes. They don't view mistakes the same. When they make a mistake, they don't see it as character defining. They don't identify with their mistake. And they view their mistakes the same way they would view a seed. They view their mistakes the same way they would view a seed, as necessary for growth. That's how they view their mistakes. They view their mistakes as a necessity for them to grow. And that's the difference between them and you. That's the difference. When they do the things that they do, they don't beat themselves up about it a million times. They don't stay in that state of guilt. They forgive themselves and they move on. And that's why they always see success. And it's not to say that you won't see success if you're a good person, etc. It's not. Because it's not true. But it is to say, part of the reason why they're capable of seeing the success that they see is because they don't get stuck in the things that they have previously done. That's why other people extend such grace to them. Because when they make a mistake, their lives continue. Things get better, life goes on. That's why the people who are extending them grace, say things along the lines of, it's okay, that's just them, but they'll grow out of it. Ding, 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 ding. But they'll grow out of it. Someday they'll learn. Does it mean that these people are not sometimes very terrible people? Does it mean that they don't know what they're doing? No. It just means that they're bold enough, they're audacious enough to keep going despite what they've done in the past. And that audacity seeps through and reflects to other people. People can see the audacity in them, the fact that they'll keep trying, the fact that they don't give up. And so they get grace because they were going to keep going anyway. They view these people as those who learn from the mistakes that they take. Eventually, they're going to learn. But you, on the other hand, they treat it like Armageddon when you make a mistake. Because when you make mistakes, your life goes. When you make mistakes, you put yourself in a prison. You identify with your mistakes. You sit in guilt about your mistakes. You don't learn from them and still choose to explore. You cower sometimes and you go back to what you know. You go back to what is safe. And this is something that we as Christians are very susceptible to falling into. Identifying with our mistakes. Because we have been saved. Because we know God and we have a relationship with Him. So after we have been saved, why are we making certain mistakes? And sometimes people even call you out on it. They'll look at you and say, oh, but I thought you were Christian. The second you get frustrated. Or let's say you speak up about struggling with a certain sin as a Christian. Oh, but I thought Jesus redeemed you. Right? You're saved, right? So why do you still fall into sin? Some Christian you are. What a Christian you are. Yep, they'll say it to you. And so it leaves you thinking that you should never testify about Jesus. Never. That guilt from feeling as though you've misrepresented Christ, it seeps in and it creates a prison that makes it impossible to share the gospel with people. And this is why I'm talking about mistakes. This is why. Because there's somebody out there who is beating themselves up about a mistake that they have previously made. They've fallen into sin. They've allowed Satan to tempt them, and it's racking their mind. And to that person out there, I want to say, let go of that prison that you've put yourself in and receive the growth that is open to you when you let go of those things. Because the second you let go of those things, the second you let go of that guilt, the second you let go of that judgment that you're placing on yourself, then you'll be able to realize that despite your mistakes, despite how you may have fallen, God has still worked in your life. Even when you made the mistake, God didn't give up on you. God didn't cast you away. God wasn't done with you. So what now? How do you defend your faith now? You look at people who would bring up your sins and you tell them, it's seeing the perfection that is Christ that has helped to reveal to me exactly what you've seen in me. But trust me, I see it even more clearly than you, having once known perfection. I've felt both. I've seen both show up in my life. And this Jesus thing is a whole lot sweeter than the bitterness of sin. And that's why I share this hope with you. I'm telling you to sin less because even after being saved, I'm not sinless, but I am hopeful. And I have seen it get better each and every single day. That's what you tell them. You tell them, you may see this sin of gluttony, but you don't see my former sin of idolatry. But you don't see my former sin of covetousness. And that's because aspiring to this hope gave me a way out. And I'm sharing that with you. That's what you do. But if you stay in that mentality of only ever caring about the mistake that you have made, you will never be free. You will never come to that understanding that God has still worked in you despite the mistakes that you have made. So you gotta give yourself grace. Allow yourself mercy, because if you identify with your mistakes, then you stunt your growth. If you stunt your growth, you stunt your walk with Christ. And our God deserves better than that. That's our video for today. It's a little bit of a different one. I chose more of a cozier vibe for today's video. I just wanted to chill. I didn't want to do too much. So I'm just chilling back here for today. But yeah, I really hope this video helped one of you guys out there. Like, comment, share, do all the things. And we might do more videos where I'm just sitting on the ground, just chilling, not doing too much. But we'll see. Let me know if you like them or if you like the sofa more. Yeah, as per usual, I'm not going to do all that, but